So in our last session, we have seen the aggregate functions, right? So here in this video, we will use the aggregate functions. Okay. So our trigger use case is that, so we need to show error if a user try to insert a contact with the same name, which is already existing in the org. So it means contact should not have repeated names. It means every contact should have the unique name. Okay. So to show the error to the user, we will use aggregate functions. Okay. So here we need to show error to the user before inserting the contact, right? So we will write our trigger on before insert, because after insert if we are showing error, it means contact is already inserted and we are showing error after the insertion. That is not a expected thing here, right? So we need to show the error to the user so that the user will give a separate name, unique name, so then it will be inserted. Okay, so in our before insert scenario, we have only trigger dot new, right? So we will use that, and then we will use in our aggregate query. Okay, so there could be multiple logics to do that, but I am using the aggregate function here to show how we can use the aggregate functions in trigger. Okay, so maybe you can have any other logic also, but here we will see using aggregate functions. Okay, so let's see. So let me create a trigger, show error on contact. Here we need to select contact, submit. Before insert is already there. Let me create a handler for this. Show error on contact handler. Okay, we will write a static method here that we will call in our trigger. Public static void check contact name, check contact name, and here we will have list of contact from the trigger dot new, right? Contact list. Okay, save it. Okay, list of contact con list. Okay, great. So here we will put some checks. If trigger dot is before and trigger dot is insert, then what we need to do, we need to call that method that we have in our handler. Sorry, not this one, this one. And here we will pass trigger dot new. Okay, great. So here we got our trigger dot new. So here what we will do, we will create a set of string contact names, because we need unique contact names, right? So we will loop through the list and then we will have the name in our set. Contact C con list then con names dot add c dot name. Okay, great. So all the contact names will be here. Here it will be, let me take last name here. Okay. Okay. Let me debug this list after for loop. This set after for loop. Set of contact names. Okay. Now we will query for aggregate result. Okay. So the query returns the aggregate list of aggregate result. Okay. So con result equals select last name comma count id from contact where last name in con names group by last name. Okay. After that, we will need to run the for loop on aggregate result. Aggregate result a con result. What's the error here? Okay, all okay. So let me debug this thing. System.debug contact last name and a dot get last name. Okay, and we will get the count we will get last name duplicate count. We will have a expression 0. Okay, in aggregate result I mentioned that if we do not make any alias then it will give you this thing. Okay, then both of these things, a dot get last name and a dot get expression 0 is object type of aggregate result. Okay, so what we will do, we will create a map and we will put these things inside that con existing count map. And we will fill this map using this dot put a dot get last name comma a dot get expression 0. This should be okay. Okay, so now again we need to loop through the contact list and we need to check whether this contact name exists in this map key or not. If this map contains key as this contact name that we are trying to insert. C dot last name. Okay, then put an error for that. Please enter a unique name, unique last name. This last name already exists. Okay, now let's try. See, so many test contact is there. Test is money also. So many. Let me refresh. Okay, test is money is one. Let me try to insert it again with this same name, same last name. Okay, so here you are getting that message. Please enter a unique last name. This last name already exists. Let me try with a small letter because it's a small letter, so it's already inserted. Okay, but let me try with test contact. Contact. Please enter the unique last name. This last name already exists. Okay, it means it consider small and capital letters as separately. Okay, but our trigger is working. Okay, so this is how you can use aggregate functions like count ID. Here you can mention some other field also. Okay, so I hope you guys like the video. Thank you so much.